My hot take about Sweden is that Swedish men will ask you out on a date and then they don't pay. They want to do 50-50.
If I don't speak the language, I don't belong to the society.
Male colleagues left the office at 3 or 4 to pick up their kids from preschool.
お疲れ, I'm Kaja-Kyoto. Today's video is about I interviewed 3 Japanese people living in Sweden and asked them what it's like living in Sweden as a Japanese, the difference between Japan and Sweden. In Sweden, in the summer, they don't have sunset. It's called midsummer. On the other hand, in the winter, they only have 5 hours daytime. 4 p.m. is like almost dark, you know. It will be interesting. I interview people all over the world. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe my channel. With that being said, let's dive into the interviews. Could you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Yuria, also known as Chutoroo. I have been living in Stockholm, Sweden for about 7 years. So I went to Stockholm University here, and then I really didn't want to get a job in Japan, so I'm living here now.
Hi everyone, my name is Mami. I'm from Japan and I've been living in Gothenburg, Sweden about 3 years now. And I moved here because my husband is from Sweden and we met in Tokyo and we decided to move here.
Hi, I'm Coco. I'm originally from Hokkaido, Japan, and I'm currently in Stockholm, Sweden. I run a platform called Circulive. That's where I curate sustainable products from Nordics.
So what's it like being in Sweden as a Japanese person?
I think it's good. It's nice. It's very different from like the Japan that I know, but there's many similarities to Japan, especially in some parts of the culture. I think both Japanese people and Swedish people are not very confrontational, especially in workplace. If someone has an opinion, they won't say it, but they'll say it very roundabout. So you do need to read the air, even though that word doesn't really exist in Swedish. In Japan, you really have to be careful about reading the air. It helps me here in Sweden too. Some things I would say they wouldn't say directly to you. So getting honest feedback at work can be very difficult. They will say it in a way that's very like you have to understand the meaning. So that's super similar to Japan.
Overall, I really enjoy living here. In Sweden, I feel that there's more different way of living. They're more acceptable. When I live in Japan, I feel that there's a certain expectation to live. I feel pressure when I'm in Japan. But here, people quit job and take a break or study doing something new. It's more acceptable and I feel more comfortable living here.
Definitely different. At that time, I had physical paper dictionary. And then now, with all the tools that you have, it's like learning the language, Swedish, is completely different. And also like finding jobs or meeting people, everything is now digitalized. But at the time, I printed my CV in paper and I literally knocked the doors at the souvenir shops to find my first summer job. It was completely different.
What is the biggest culture shock since you came here?
Bank ID. A couple of months ago, I had to get a new phone and they removed my bank ID before I could change to my new phone. So I couldn't open any of my banking services. I couldn't pay for anything. And it was the end of the month and all the banks were closed because they had only specific opening hours because I wasn't a Swedish citizen. So it was super frustrating. Also made me realize how I had a similar experience when I first moved. I couldn't open a bank. I couldn't really work. I couldn't get paid because of not having personal number, not having a bank ID, because it's so digitalized. Once one thing fails, there's not an alternative. I believe that foreigners in Japan have the same experience where they have to kind of wait for the paperwork. It's the same thing in Sweden, especially since the Swedish society is built upon that you're Swedish and you have a Swedish identity number, you have a Swedish background. So someone like me who has a personal number, but then suddenly I lost my bank ID, I had to go to the bank physically to identify myself, but the banks are only open on like a Wednesday from 10 to 10:15.
The biggest culture shock is gender equality, I would say. I feel that men and women share responsibility equally, the work-wise, housework-wise, and also the childcare. I have a son. I raised my son in Sweden, and then my husband now taking off for 1 year. from job. And it's not something that I see in Japan. I see a lot of dad's friends, papa's friends that take more than 6 months off to take care of children. Those kind of things that I never seen in Japan. I was shocked when I moved here. I think the system is overall same. Japan have a lot of good system too, but the problem is they don't take it. It depends on the company, of course, and now getting better, I heard, but still, men taking off for 6 months is not normal. It's because of a lot of pressure from the work. People think that they can come back to the same position, or they think about other people, so they want to, but they cannot do it.
The biggest culture shock that I still remember is male colleagues left the office at 3 or 4 to pick up their kids from preschool. I knew that, but then I've never seen it until that moment. It's like, oh, nice. It's like you are actually doing it. Like when I was in corporate in Japan, then I saw female employees left a little earlier to pick up, but then never seen male colleagues doing that. At the time, it was a team of 8, and the majority was male, and most of them had kids. And like they were leaving the office for 3 times a week, a little earlier than usual. It was like that was refreshing. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
What is the ratio of housework?
Good question. Like we try to do it equally. I like to cook, so I cook most of the time. But even though he takes the responsibility in the mornings, like he does breakfast for everyone, and I do dinner. That's how we divide. And also like cleaning and household, like try to do half. But like we don't really set who is doing what. Like I never clean the windows. That's his responsibility. Or like it's not a responsibility, but he notices more than me. It's nice. It wasn't like, uncomfortable. But still like, for example, not me and him, but finding a nanny or a babysitter and leave our small kids to them and go out for dinner, for example, just me and him. In the beginning, I felt extremely uncomfortable because like I'm a mom, I was supposed to take care of my kids, but like leaving them behind and like I go out for a dinner with my husband is like, but still it's extremely important to keep the partnership. If we are not in a good term, then it will definitely affect our kids. So we try put effort into creating our time because there's no time otherwise. Kids are running around, all the things happening around. So to maintain our relationship, we prioritize those time.
What brought you to Sweden? Like, why did you choose not to work in Japan?
Really good question. I have always been known to be very rebellious in Japan. I had a lot of questions about how Japanese society worked, and maybe because I'm from the South, which is a little bit more conservative, I never felt like I fit in. And even my friends said, you should marry a foreigner, because they don't think that any Japanese guy would be like attracted to me. And I applied to many universities abroad. I really wanted to go be in a country that had 4 seasons, that had clean water and had Wi-Fi, like good Wi-Fi. So with that, the Nordic countries came up, and at that time, Sweden was known to be the capital of Scandinavia. I don't know if it's now. I just applied to many universities, and then I just chose the name that sounded the coolest.
What is one thing that you struggle with the most?
The language is still challenging to learn Swedish. Before I moved to Sweden, Swedish people speak very good English, and I speak English, so I thought that it's not going to be a problem. But if I don't speak the language, I don't belong to the society. I don't feel like deep down I don't get to know the people here. And of course, I understand that if I move to the country, learning the local language is a must. But I understand so much more when I move here. Okay, I have to study Swedish. Otherwise, I feel like I'm outsider forever. So when I move here, I have zero Swedish, of course. So I have to make friends with English. I have a dinner or lunch with Swedish people. Everyone's speaking Swedish, and I'm the one only doesn't speak Swedish. And then they change to English for me, and I don't feel good about it.
I'm going to be as direct as possible without hurting anyone, but that still sometimes ruins the air.
So do you feel more comfortable when you were in Sweden?
Yeah, I would say so. In Sweden, I'm treated as a Japanese person living in Sweden, but in Japan, I'm treated as like a non-Japanese in Japan.
You live in Sweden for around 10 years. When do you see yourself as Swedish, and then when you see yourself still like as a Japanese?
I forget that I'm Japanese if I don't see myself in a mirror. For example, like if you walk around like and then you see like windows on the in town and you see like, oh, I'm Asian because I don't really see Asians here so much. I mean, of course I see that, but not as much. So like I see from my eyes like many Swedes around, but then when I see myself, oh, I'm Japanese kind of. So at that moment I feel like, oh yeah, I forgot about it. But when it comes to food, I love Japanese food and Asian food. I cannot stand without it. When I go for a trip with my family or friends, I need to bring rice, soba, dashi, and soy sauce and a Japanese knife. That moment I feel like, oh, I'm completely Japanese. Because I cannot eat pasta or potatoes every day. I cannot do that.
Sometimes I feel like I'm more Japanese when I'm in Sweden, or sometimes I don't feel like I'm Japanese in Sweden. Like, for example, at the school or some kind of group setting, everybody asks questions very randomly, you know? They don't wait. They just ask. But for me, as a Japanese, we learn to wait. Like, we raise a hand before ask questions, or we often wait until they finish speaking because the interrupt is we consider as a rude. I always wait until the end to ask question. Sometimes I miss the opportunity because they get to
You are just
yeah,
waiting.
exactly. And then I don't know when to speak or those kind of things. I feel like, oh, I'm so Japanese. And the other hand, in the new environment or I talk to people from different country, I don't feel so nervous about it anymore. I don't mind going to this kind of environment by myself and start talking from my side. I don't think this kind of character is not traditional Japanese, so I feel like I have both.
Which one do you feel like more comfortable now?
Of course, that I more comfortable that the second one. I don't think Swedish people is very open-minded either, but I feel more. I just do what I want to do, and I like that side of me. I feel like there's a lot of unwritten rules that certain way I should behave or think about what other people think. I feel more being judged in Japan. You know, it's difficult to open up and stand out from other people. I feel like have to be in the same behavior with other people is more valued in Japan. It's more easy to do that here because like no one knows me, so who cares?
What did you change about your lifestyle in summer and in winter, like compare to the seasons?
Swedish summer is the best I have ever been. Always, you know, going to the forest and pick up the berry, going to the lake to take a bath. So more outside. But during the winter, we often stay home. So we must have a hobby inside, you know, cooking or knitting or doing fika. Coffee break with friends is very important. So it's very important that I have a hobby to make myself happy. Otherwise, I get depressed for sure.
How do you overcome every year? Like,
I don't. It's impossible to overcome. But I try my best. I try to exercise or work out twice a week. Not because I want to be in fit body or like just for mentality. It's like I need to exercise to keep up. And also vitamin D, maybe placebo, but I try to take it every day and then like yeah. And also like I cry. It's like just it's impossible to to be normal. I accept that and then escape from here.
okay.
Escape from the darkness. It's impossible. It's really depressing. It's brutal.
Yeah. What do you prefer about Sweden compared to Japan? And at the same time, what do you prefer about Japan more than the Sweden?
I prefer the work-life balance in Sweden. I think it's much better. I have a lot of coworkers, they have children, and they will take over 1 year, if not more, parental leave. They will end work early to pick up their children. But in Japan, I didn't. I just expect that it was a woman's job, even though I'm a woman myself. You know, if you have children, it's the woman's job to do this. But in Sweden, it's different. Many men, they find it that it is their job. So that's really nice. My previous boss, she booked a meeting for us. Then on the day she canceled, and when we asked her why did she cancel, it's because her children was sick. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're the boss, you get more money, more responsibility, but when I look back, I know actually what she did is the right thing. Her children is the most important. In their eyes, nothing is more important than their loved ones. So their family, spending time with even their friends is more important than work. So it's really difficult when we have overtime. They get very upset if we have to. It's not like in Japan, working 1-2 hours overtime is barely overtime.
What do you like about Japan more than the Sweden?
The food. I miss Japanese food. That's why my account name is
Yeah.
Chutoro tabetai yo.
I really like Sweden. Swedish people really believe that they can change their society and the world even. They vote and engage in different social issues. They shape the society as they want to. They really truly believe that they can change. That I really like the mentality, and also like Sweden, Stockholm is one of the biggest startup hubs. When they think about business or policies or design, whatever, they think beyond Sweden. Because Sweden is such a small country.
Yeah.
You need to think internationally from the beginning. So that's why like Skype, Spotify, famous company startups are successful in the world, I think. I really like about Japan how craftsmanship is respected. Creation from ages ago, and the quality and design, traditional things are extremely beautiful. That part of Japan I really love.
Could you introduce yourself in the languages that you speak?
こんにちは、チュートロです。今、ストックホルム、スウェーデンに住んでる、働きたくないけど働いてる人。Hej allihopa, jag heter Chutoro. Jag är från Japan. Jag driver en språkcafé på svenska och japanska. Så om du kan prata japanska, du är jättevälkommen. Det finns information någonstans.
皆さんこんにちは、マミです。仙台出身で今スウェーデンのヨテボリというところで3年住んでいます。Hej allihopa, jag heter Mami, kommer från Japan. Jag har bott i Göteborg, Sverige i 3 år. Göteborg är en jättefin stad. Om du har inte varit här, jag rekommenderar att komma hit. Välkommen!
こんにちは、こんにちは、ココです。北海道出身です。今スウェーデンのストックホルムに住んでいます。Hej, jag heter Coco. Jag kommer från Hokkaido, Japan. Jag bor i Stockholm, Sverige för nästan 10 år. Hej då!
Thank you for watching so far. I was living in Sweden for the last 10 months and I really enjoyed my lifetime in Sweden. I hope in the future I can live in the country for some years. I love people. They're kind of similar to Japanese people, but still comfortable with being there. Interesting experience for the last 10 months. Like this video, I sometimes interview Japanese people living in foreign countries. So if you're Japanese living outside Japan, please send me DMs on Instagram. See you in the next video. Stay tuned in my channel.